Hey! So it has been a while since I've done whistle notes. I'll be honest, that's not necessarily what I want all my content to be, because whistle notes are kind of such a fringe skill, and it's really, in my opinion, if you really want to be a professional musician, it really comes down to your ability to send emotion through your music and to tell a story through your music that impacts the people on the other side. But every once in a while, I do like to check in and explore my instrument just playfully. So whenever I want to revisit my whistle notes, I start with just play, seeing how is it feeling in my body right now. So really, really quietly, I'll just kind of try some sirens and see if, instead of staying in like my super head voice or my kind of flute register operatically, if I can be so kind of formless is the word I want to use, but it's just so relaxed that I see if my voice won't transition into a quiet whistle instead. So just kind of like, there's some mucus on those chords. So you can kind of hear some, my chords are like little pieces will catch, and that'll be kind of what'll suddenly jump in a pitch instead of a graceful slide. But what I'm really, really finding, the closest sensation I can think of right now is that my airflow feels like when you have a helium balloon, or even any balloon, and you have the little tie knot, but it's not tied, it's just being shut with your fingers, and you just let the tiniest sliver of airflow escape. Now what's weird is you have to have a full balloon sized amount of like pressure, practically like it feels like a wall or like a brick of air. I'm supported by a very solid base of air. So there's a big inhale, and it's like sub diaphragmatic, it's below, it's staying below. It's more like an expanded pressure kind of drum is what it feels like. But then the amount of air that's escaping is just that tiny sliver that would escape out of the little knot part of a balloon that makes that squeaky sound when the air is squeaking out of the balloon. So that's how I kind of feel, is I am a balloon full of air, but I'm really letting only the tiniest sliver of air escape. If I overblow, I'm going to be in a totally different register, using my instrument a totally different way. Let's see if we can play with some pitches today. Woo, lightheaded. So you gotta be careful how much air you're having in or out. So we play. Gosh, the lower pitches really are harder, because at that point, your voice, your cricothyroid muscles want to take back over and go back to regular high notes. My staccato's not that great. That was so much better. I think I still like doing those notes full voiced better, but this is good practice. better. We're getting there. So when the sound cuts out, I wouldn't call that, nothing like squeaks or breaks or cracks, and I don't feel really any sensation. What feels like it's happening is somewhere along my vocal folds, it's like they grab onto each other. They want to phonate in the traditional full phonation way that is like a regular operatic singing voice, and so they are instinctually aligning and negotiating, singing how I normally sing, physical memory, and I'm singing in a different way when I'm using whistle notes like that. So it kind of feels like they're vibrating, and they'll kind of like snatch onto each other and try to vibrate in a more like complete whole way instead of the little bit of air escaping that happens for a whistle note. And that's hard to, again, there aren't like, you don't have sense nerves really there, so it's really hard to describe sensation. But that's how my brain understands it. It just feels like the muscles too around my vocal folds, my cricothyroid muscles, my thyroarytenoid muscles, they want to activate. They want to be more involved, more typical of singing with regular soprano head voice and super head voice, and even flute register notes, but sung in a way where there is more full vibration, more full intonation, like a coloratura soprano instead of like a whistle note singer. So anyways, yeah, it feels like they jump in and they try to get in on the action. So that's why, for me, exploring this process means really just playing and keeping it as absolutely light as possible so my muscles don't jump in there and trying to create full phonation. Okay?